Hello artists! Thank you for joining the Art Studio 5 Saltwater and Sunshine Watercolor tutorial. This tutorial pairs with the Saltwater and Sunshine Watercolor Kit. However, if you don't have the kit, please feel free to watch for watercolor tips and techniques. Remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you would like more. Let's get started with setting up. Open your watercolor kit and take out all of the items. Fill a small container with water. Grab a paper towel, pencil, and a piece of Scotch tape. If you are right-handed, set up the paint, water, and paper towel on your right side. If you're left-handed, set up the materials on your left side. I also pulled out my white square palette, paintbrush, and paint card. The design we will be working with today is the seashell design, so be sure to pull that out along with your watercolor paper and the graphite paper. A pencil is needed for tracing your design onto your watercolor paper. Let's begin the transfer process. As you can see, I'm arranging my design on top of my watercolor paper using a piece of Scotch tape. Line up the edges and gently tape the papers together. Pick up the piece of graphite paper and slip it dark side down onto the watercolor paper. Arrange it so it is right underneath the part where you want to trace. Gently trace with your pencil over the lines. Before you go any further, you want to make sure that the pressure you applied with your pencil was dark enough to transfer your design. Use medium pressure when transferring to ensure that your lines are neither too light nor too dark. When you are done tracing, remove the graphite paper and put it to the side. The graphite paper can be used multiple times over and over when applying different transfer designs. Remove the paper from the top and the tape as well. Now it's time to wake up our paints. I numbered my paints from 1 through 6 with the pink paint on the left. This should help you for recognizing the colors that I'm using to help you along. To wake up your paint, simply wet your watercolor brush and roll it around in the watercolor dot. Swish your brush out between colors and repeat. I'm going to start with the color purple, number 5. But first, I have to bring the paint from my watercolor dot over to my palette. Wet your brush, roll it in the paint, and press it into the palette. Now your paint has been transferred to the palette. To make your color lighter, just add water. If you like your color dark, use the color directly from your palette. To make the color darker still, add more color from the watercolor dot. We are going to start with the bottom middle shell. Load a clean brush with clean water and paint inside of the lines one section at a time. There should be enough water to wet the paper, but there should be no puddles or oversaturation. Next, load your brush with color. Revisit the wet areas of the painting and gently paint your brush into those areas. You will see that the pigment spreads to the areas where the water is present. Continue this technique in the other sections of your piece. As I continue to work on this shell, I'm going to work on a section not directly next to the one I just worked with. By doing this, it allows the first section to dry down a bit. As I continue to paint, I leave a little bit of white space between each segment of the seashell. Remember that in watercolor, you need to leave white space in the beginning of your painting. Watercolor is unlike acrylic or oil, where white space can be added at the end. You must think through where your white space will be at the beginning of your painting. As you continue painting, try experimenting with adding darker and lighter values. Remember, more water added to your pigment is going to create a lighter value, and less water added to your pigment will create a darker or stronger value. Remember to use this video to your advantage. Feel free to pause as you work, rewind, slow down, or speed up. The second shell we'll be painting will be the one right above the purple shell. For this one, we'll be using the green and blue paint. This will create a turquoise color. Wet your brush, go to the blue, and roll it around in the paint. Then dip your brush back into the water to the desired consistency. Then go into your green paint, roll your brush into the green, and press the green into that blue. Add more water to your desired consistency. You may decide that you need a little bit more blue or a little bit more green, depending on the turquoise that you're trying to achieve. Once again, you're going to load your brush with water and paint inside of the lines one section at a time. You're going to notice that your water is getting a little bit dirty, but that's okay and will actually prove to be helpful at this point because now you have tinted water, which will help you to see where you're painting the water into that section of your seashell. Blue and purple are both in the cool color family, so if they mix a bit, it's going to work out just fine. Do you remember what we do next? Remember, we load our brush with color, revisit the wet areas of the painting, and gently paint our brush into those areas. Continue this process for the turquoise shell. Remember, if you make a mistake, it is only paper and paint. There is no such thing as perfection in art. In fact, there is no such thing as perfection in life. So if you make a mistake, keep going, for the imperfections are what make your artwork so unique. The third seashell we will be painting today is to the right of the purple and turquoise seashell. This seashell will be blue, which is number 4 on the card. Blue is also a cool color, so I'm still keeping my tinted water. Pull your blue color to your palette, just as we did before, and once you have enough, rinse out your brush and begin to paint inside the lines of your seashell with the tinted water. Once again, load your paintbrush with color and revisit the wet area of the painting and gently paint your brush into those areas. Watch as the blue pigment spreads into the areas where the water is present. Continue this technique in the other sections of this blue seashell. Now I'm going to be pulling this lovely rose pink from my palette to paint the nautilus. I'm not overly concerned that my water is blue, because if that blue water mixes with the rose, it'll just give me a lovely purple color, which I am totally fine with. The rose watercolor turns out to be very bright and bold, and the blue water is barely noticeable. I decided to handle this shell as one large segment, kind of just spiraling the water all around the nautilus to fill in each space with water, and then I go back and paint the color inside the segment. You'll notice that I'm trying to achieve value as I go back into my palette to get some darker paint with less water and painting it a little bit over the lighter sections. Continue on with me until your nautilus is complete. At this point, I did change my water, and I wet a clean paper towel, which I'm using to wipe down my palette. Your colors will stain a little bit on that palette just because of the pigments, but as you can see, there's nothing left on the plate. We're going to be working with yellow now, which is one of the main reasons I changed my water, because yellow is a warm color, unlike purple, blue, and green. We're going to mix a little bit of yellow and brown to get a sandy color for our scallop shell. Notice that I'm pulling the light color first and then just adding a touch of that brown to get the color that I'm looking for. Let's get ready to paint our scallop shell. Remember the process. We're going to dip our paintbrush in clear water and paint our segments. Next, add color to your brush and gently paint the color into those wet areas. Alternating segments to allow the segment that we painted prior to dry is a great best practice. As we go back to fill in the white segments of the scallop shell, we're going to be painting those segments with clear water and then getting some yellow and painting that into our segments that are white. As you can see, I did decide to dot some brown into that wet yellow paint. It's really fun to see how the brown just kind of bleeds into that yellow area, which gives a nice textured and mottled peel. Finally, we're going to move on to our starfish. So load your clean brush with water and paint inside the lines. When you're ready, load your paintbrush with color and paint inside that wet area of the starfish. Using a little bit of the brown paint, dot the edges of the starfish to give it a little bit of a three-dimensional feel. Once you're all done painting your seashells, admire your beautiful work and allow this little card time to dry. You can hit it with a blow dryer or a heat gun or just let it air dry. At this point, you can decide if you want to embellish your artwork a bit. I'm thinking that it would be fun to splatter this a bit, so I'm going to wet my paintbrush, grab some purple paint, number 5, roll my brush around and bring it over to my palette. Add a little bit of water so it's pretty watered down so I can flick the paint, as you can see. Hold your paintbrush over your piece and lightly tap your pointer finger on the top of your brush, moving your brush around the area and get all of those spots to your liking. I think the splatters add a little bit of fun dimension to the piece. Allow this to dry a bit and then decide if you want to embellish a little bit further. I have a Sakura Jelly Roll pen that I'm going to outline the seashells with. When outlining though, you want to do some kind of loose broken lines. You don't want it to be so tight. You want kind of some loose work going on there. Continue to trace all of your seashells with loose broken lines. The key to success here is imperfection. You don't have to go right on the line. You could trace a little bit above it, a little bit over it. Try not to be perfect because that's what gives your artwork its uniqueness. Finally, remember to sign your work. The next project from your watercolor kit is up to you and your creativity. Use what you learned in this tutorial to move forward with your next project choice. I can't wait to see what you create. Sending you an art studio high five. See you next time.